Alright, we have now made it into wet season. A sports ball goes sailing over your head. Nem giggles as she jogs up to you. That's what they used to say on Earth when the ball would go into the crowd. I like it. Yeah. We've provoked an immune response. Seems reasonable. He's playing drums on random trash he found. This is by the dead Hopeye. But we've got enough bravery now that we can dare him to eat a worm. Dare to eat this worm? Oh yeah? Discounters? Well, I double dare you to eat a worm. You can't just turn down a double dare. You're no meek little Hopeye. Slimy and unsatisfying. Very, very gross. This eats his like a noodle, slurping it up and wrinkling his nose as it wriggles in his mouth. Yuck, he says, swallowing it whole, then shows you his empty mouth. You should have known better than to dare a person who fears nothing. More bravery, more friendship. So... not everyone in the colony is happy, Dis mutters, his arms wrapped around himself. Everyone acts like it because they don't want to sound ungrateful, but let's face it sucks here. So, if we had bravery 40, then we could dare him to go into a restricted area. So this is what the glowing items looks like. And you can hear there's also a bit of an audio cue. I don't know if that's too quiet for you. But we've picked up the bobber fruit. It is currently, I believe, Mars's birthday, so we should probably think about getting her something. You guys watching your mom work, you can practically see the hearts in his eyes. Your mom is an incredible lady, he says dreamily. True love is hurtling yourself into space with someone and hoping for the best for your children. You gross, Dad. Are you eating enough? Your mom says, looking at you critically. Drinking enough water? It's hotter here than you're used to. You have to take care of your body if you want it to take care of you. Do you really think there are aliens here? Yeah, she wants to see an alien. Let's see. Anything here you would like? You like the flowers. Well, I've had better birthday gifts, Mars sighs, rubbing one of the petals, but this will look nice in my hair, I think. Thank you. And she now wants to talk again. And furthermore, your attitude towards your elders in general is entirely disrespectful. You find Uticott delivering a scathing reprimand to Mars, who's doing her level best to look like she'd rather be anywhere else. You speak out of turn, you question the council's decisions. If you disagree with an order, you simply do not do it. I could go on. Do you need me to go on? Mars scowls. No, she replies. Uticott clicks her tongue. I honestly thought better of you, Marzipan, she chastises. You have this sort of natural leadership ability I remember from when I was a girl many years ago. Mars doesn't roll her eyes, but you get the sense it's a close call. You need to set a better example for the other children, Uticott continues. It's okay to have your own opinions, but you kids can't just do whatever you want. You have to follow the rules and respect your elders. I am setting a good example, Mars retorts, stomping her foot. Hello, the only reason we're here is because a bunch of people knew living on Earth was nonsense and decided to do something different. Uticott looks scandalized, but Mars just continues on. Maybe kids should have more authority. We're the ones with the new ideas that will take us into the future. Mars is right. Hey, don't speak for all of us, or stay quiet and respectful. Probably not going to say Mars is right to Uticott. I'll just be quiet. They can have their fight with each other, and I'll just stand there. Uticott stands up a little straighter. Excuse me, young lady, she rasps, but whom do you think you're referring where you call on the bravery of those who left Earth and dreamed of a new world? I have been in command of this colony longer than you've been alive, she continues. Unlike you, I see that as a strength, not a weakness. For example, I remember a time when children would stay silent and learn from the experience of their elders. Why, back on Earth in my day... Mars locks eyes with you and gives you a subtle, can you believe this expression? As Uticott goes on one of her formless rambles about how life on Earth wasn't entirely bad, and how this colony could use a little old-fashioned human discipline. After a while, Uticott loses her train of thought and puts her hand to her forehead. Both of you, get back to your duties, she sighs. Marzipan, I don't want to have this talk with you again. Mars makes a disgusted noise and storms off. Alright, so we still have a bonus for extra kudos, and we have clear-minded because we have no stress that'll give us bonus to skills. So maybe work in the depot, try that out. That will boost our organizing and our persuasion. We are wanting to get organizing. Persuasion would be nice to have, but we're nowhere near getting anywhere with it. But I think working in the depot. Seek rolls their eyes when they see you reported to the depot for your first day as a clerk. Oh, it's you. They deadpan. Well, at least you might learn something useful while you're here. The depot is where the precious nanoprinter lives. Seek lords over it like a tyrant, and they don't like children. They load the depot module on your holopalm and walk you through the process. People submit requisitions for the nanoprinter through this portal. They explain, it's your job to program the correct routine into the nanoprinter to fulfill their order. Then you mark it as available for delivery or pickup, depending on if we have a delivery person available. Seek grumbles, and we almost never do. With that perfunctory explanation, Seek leaves you to figure out what to do on your own. It's okay for the first hour or so because no one puts in a requisition at all. It is pretty early. Maybe everyone is still asleep. We could catch up on some sleep, catch up on some homework, or clean and organize the depot. We will clean and organize the depot, which will give us the +1 organizing. There isn't a lot to organize, as you don't store a lot of stuff here, except for things that people need all the time, like toothpaste. But you find a bucket and start to mop the floors the old-fashioned way, because there's nothing wrong with taking pride in your work. You're jerked back to reality by a haptic pulse through your holopalm. Your first order! You excitedly open your holopalm to read it. Elbow grease, 1 gallon, it reads, from Cal in Geoponics. Delivery, ASAP. We have enough reasoning to say, very funny, Cal. You dismiss the phony requisition. Haha, Cal's got jokes. Another one pops up on your holoscreen. Flashlight fluid, 2 gallons anemone. Sports ball, delivery, ASAP. Really, Nem? Reasoning 15. Another bogus requisition. Are your friends trying to prank you? You barely dismissed that second one before a third comes in. ID-10T gas, flammable, 2 cubic meters pressurized, tangent, engineering. Deliver ASAP, caution. You almost got me, Tang. Reasoning 20. Tang's not really the pranking type, but you stop yourself from looking up the ID-10T gas. You dismiss the requisition and message your friends to knock it off. Finally, you get a real requisition and get down to work. It's easier than you thought. You're just finishing up when Mars strolls in. She hops up onto the depot counter and primly crosses her legs. I am so totally relieved to have you as my assistant here, Selene. Finally, someone to haul boxes and fetch things so I can focus on the important work. Sounds good to me. Your assistant, I should be in charge, or maybe we could share responsibilities. We have enough organizing to say I should be in charge. More friendship with Mars, because she does like someone putting her in her place a little bit. Not going overboard, but yeah. And some extra kudos. I don't care which one of you is in charge, Seek interrupts, so long as you get the work done. Seek pauses. Wait, did you wash the floors? They say, looking impressed. Well, that does deserve a reward. Here you go. They swipe their holopalm, and you feel yours pulse as a couple of kudos are deposited to your account. Mars can hardly wait until Seek is gone to giggle. Either way, I'm glad you're here. This job is usually so boring. Alright, goal of 18. Now, we're not going to get any straight bonuses. So we'll put the blues together and the reds together, and I guess put the 2s by each other. Oh, +2 if in the first or last pane, so we'll go that route instead. Sure. That seems fine. 20, 20. Yeah. 22. Here we go. Yep, that is the maximum. +20 kudos. Nice. And that did cross the organizing threshold, I think. Moving on to mid-wet. New perk. Extra gear slot. We can equip an additional gear. Let's take care of that now before I forget. So we have an extra slot. +1 to all yellow cards, or a +1 to challenges. So back when the game first came out and I was first playing it, there was what I thought was intentional of those challenges that run through 3 phases, you'd get +1 to each phase. Now they have changed it. Apparently that was a bug, so you only get the +1 on your first phase, making this card a lot less useful. So I'm probably going to go with the photophoner so that all of our yellow cards are a little bit better. It's still raining, Mars complains. I hate it here. Let's see, mid-wet, is that anyone's birthday? No. You learned at a young age not to sneak up on your mom. She's jumpy and gets kind of mean if someone surprises her. That's just how she's always been, and you've never questioned it. You always make sure to walk a little more heavy when she hasn't noticed you. We do have our organizing... Oh, we must have already gone through her organizing thing. Probably 40 now? Yeah, okay. Hey, Sunberry, your dad greets you, working hard or hardly working. He laughs and ruffles your hair. Yep, too dangerous to go outside. The sound of hammering rings through the garden, and you find Cal helping your mom to build a row of raised garden beds. Turns out some of the earth plants don't grow so great here, so we're gonna see if this helps, he says, taking a break to rub his face. Your mom stifles a laugh at the smear of dirt it leaves across his cheek. Your mom says we gotta worry about the nitrogen levels soon, he continues, but that hopefully won't be eating just plants that grow here before then. Alright, Nem, anything? Nem looks up from her holopalm and sighs dramatically as you approach. Man, I hate school learning, she exclaims, prodding at her screen. Why do I have to even do this? I don't do playing, Tang says, watching Anemone and some of the smaller children tear through the colony chasing after a sports ball. Why would I put effort into chasing around a dumb ball, getting sweaty and tired, for fun? She shudders. I'd rather spend my time doing something important. Alright, no special bonuses towards anything. Might be nice to get combat up because it's pretty close. Or bravery. Maybe reasoning. We did a lot of combat at the start, so maybe we'll do reasoning. So if we do life sciences, nope. Engineering? Could be good to get our engineering up a bit. Yeah. I think we'll go engineering. It's been a while since you've taken a physics class. You wonder who they got to teach it after Professor Hal died. He was the teacher back on the ship. Who could possibly replace him? Congruence is waiting placidly for class to begin. Oh, Selene, hello, she says as you take your seat. It's been a while since you joined us to learn about the grand world of physics. Don't be surprised, I'm teaching this class now in Professor Hal's absence. Today, Congruence teaches you about machine learning and the development of artificial intelligences. Congruence has been part of your life for as long as you can remember. It's hard to imagine a time when people didn't have access to such a powerful, all-knowing intelligence. How did people get used to learn anything? Or how did people used to learn anything? We had Google, and before Google, books, encyclopedias. 565430. And because it's blue, we're going to gain an extra skill, which is pretty cool. But yeah, that's probably as good as I can do. Yep. Cool. Moving on to Late Wet. Late Wet is the birthday of both Tang and Dis because they're twins. Do I have anything that they will like? Tang likes flowers and roots, which we don't have, and Dis likes roots, which we don't have. Cool, cool, cool. Nem scowls as she watches the rain come down. I'm gonna do it, she mutters. I don't care if my hair looks like a puffball afterwards. If that's what's gonna happen, that's what's gonna happen. Tang is craning her head, looking around what she can see of the colony from the laboratory doors. Have you seen my brother, she asks. He stormed out of class today, again. She pinches the bridge of her nose. All I did was point out that he constantly makes the same mathematical error and offered a mnemonic to aid his memory in the future. I don't see how I'm the monster here. We've read that one before. Yep, he still thinks that the world is magical. He is still unhappy because the colony sucks. Found an interesting plant. Don't sneak up on our mom. A lot of these are ones we've already read before. And Mars is trying to look good. Okay. No one had anything new to say. So let's see. Could keep getting our reasoning or our toughness up. What did the xenobotany do? Biology and organizing? Okay. That's not critical. Probably more engineering. Just keep working on getting our engineering and reasoning up. Yeah. You should have known better, Tangent. You hear as you walk past the laboratory. Curious, you listen at the door. Chief Engineer Instant sighs. I know you meant well, but your presumption has cost us 3 months of work. You can't simply look at an experiment and change the parameters to your liking. Getting results is not the same as doing good science. Your findings, however scientifically interesting, are useless to us without sound methodological underpinnings. Heng's response is more subdued than you've ever heard her before. I'm sorry, Chief Engineer, she mumbles, looking down at the floor. I recognize the error of my ways. I should hope so, Instance replies, pinching the bridge of her nose in her fingers. I'll expect you in the lab first thing tomorrow morning, and I will personally supervise your work in resetting the experiment. You flatten your against the wall as Instance breezes past you, barely giving you a second look as she strides down the hallway. You poke your head inside the laboratory, where Tang scowls and wipes her eyes. What do you want? What were you working on? Cheer up, it could be worse if we had more empathy. Or, it'll be better the second time around, because we have 20 reasoning. Or do you want to hang out, which Tang probably won't. So we'll just say it'll be better the second time around. +1 help Tangent, and more friendship with Tangent. So we have these mystery events that are slowly progressing on different event trees, and we can help out with some of them. We've seen like the helping Tang with whatever Tang is working on. We've seen the helping with the Shimmer Cure also, and other of these hidden events. Tang nods. You're right. The first experiment was plagued by inefficiencies, she says, pushing herself off the lab bench. That's why I changed it in the first place. In the new experiment, I can eliminate inefficiencies from the start. Thank you, Selene. You may have saved me 3 months of work. Losing the data was my fault, Tang continues. I wanted to prove I'm not the little kid from biology class, that I'm ready to work hard and really make great discoveries. Dr. Instance has always been there for me, when I was a kid and now, with my mother gone. She's the only adult in this colony who sees what I could become, she says. She believes that I can be better than what I am. It's always been that way. I just really want to impress her. Don't push yourself too hard or you will. Tang hums in agreement. I certainly hope so. Goal of 20. And we get 5 kudos if we equal the goal. Let's see if there's a super goal if we go a little bit farther. And then if we can easily match that super goal. Super goal is 25 and we're at 27. So if we drop that, then we're at 24. Plus that's going to give us an extra skill, which we do want to keep. Goal of 20. $25 super goal. We've matched it, so we'll get the 5 kudos. It's an inefficient setup, but that's the goal. We don't want to cross too far over the super goal. So we got our +5 kudos, and a lot of engineering. Let's see. We won the challenge, super goal, absorbent brain, and the absorbent brain perk. That's the absorbent brain card and the absorbent brain perk. Separate those out. And after late wet, we are now into glow. I really do like the look of Glow. It's a really cool looking season. You don't see Nem, she sees you first. Tag, she exclaims, pouncing on you from behind. You're it. Probably shouldn't be playing tag in the middle of Glow season where everyone's super uptight. Your mom gives you a stern look. Be careful, she warns. Now that we know for a fact it isn't safe out there during Glow, I won't have you venturing close to the walls. Stay where I can see you, close to the ship. Let's see, anyone else around? Oh, we got a crystal cluster. And Dis right by the walls. You find Dis illuminated by the glow of his holoscreen. It's easier to read when it's dark, he explains. There's less glare. This is the best season. Sadly, we missed your birthday. And obviously we can't go outside. You're way too scared to go outside during Glow season, and besides, the gates are closed. Alright, what do we want to do for Glow season? Maybe work on defense, because there's probably going to be another attack. And we are still trying to raise our combat and animals. Can you imagine if the wormhole... I mean, presumably this is what the world's supposed to look like, which means the wormhole is just right above the planet, which is crazy. You drill on emergency protocols and how to shelter in place in addition to the regular fitness courses. Glow has everyone on edge, waiting for the inevitable attack. Oh, we've locked this card into place, which is getting a -1 on physical challenges. That is a not good card. Let's go there. Sure. Yeah. Nah. More combat, more animals, and a bit of stress. 2 data points form a line, but 3 is a pattern. The colony has been on high alert all Glow, hoping that the creatures from beyond the wall don't return for a 3rd year in a row. Surveyors keep reporting that they're seeing unusual animal activity. Even the plants seem different. They say and new tracks that must have been left by creatures larger and heavier than you've ever seen. You and the other colonists drill evacuation plans. You're in engineering when you hear the sirens ring through the colony. You cover your ears against the noise and make your way to the nearby classroom. This is one of the assembly points, so you should be safe there, but it wasn't so safe last year for Professor Hal. What if another creature gets in? Congruence, the new teacher, is just a face on the computer screen. She can't protect anyone. Congruence flickers cheerfully. Please stay calm, children, she says. The defense squad is already en route to the creatures. This should all be over soon. You've been told this before. As the sirens continue, you're faced with a choice. Stay put or leave. We have a bravery 15 or greater. We've left several of the previous times, and I think we've trained it enough in combat that we're actually somewhat competent this year, as opposed to previous years where we probably should have stayed in place. So we'll head out. You stand up and leave. Tang and Mars stare at you like you have 3 heads. Congruence doesn't try to stop you, not that she could. She doesn't even have hands. Gain status heroic again. You slow to a walk as you near the outer doors of engineering. Something doesn't feel right. You stop to listen in the dim emergency lighting and hear the metallic popping of something overhead. In the ventilation ducts? Your blood goes cold. Monsters! They're here! You follow the sounds to a workshop and force yourself to look up through the slats of the vent. You gasp. 2 glistening bug-like eyes peer down at you. No, 4? 6? They blink in syncopated pairs. Then you hear it, over the sirens, a soft pinging noise, halfway between a chirp and a purr. The creature skitters, spider-like, from one side of the vent to the other. A small furry tentacle slithers through the slats, searching for the vent release. When it can't find one, it bangs its body against the inside of the vent, denting the metal. We can attack it, combat challenge, try to scare it away, attempt to tame it, as an animals challenge, or help it escape because we have empathy 10 or greater. I'm going to try to tame it. We can get ourselves a pet of one of these weird creatures. Sounds pretty cool to me. Alright, challenge goal of 40. Oh yeah, Mars' Ambition is now up to 6 because we get the +1 from the photophoner that we have equipped. That's starting to become a decent card. And this is going to become a 2. As usual, that's an awkward placement. Could do something like that. Sure. Or we could just use all of our big cards. Probably should use the 0 there. So it's actually growing. -1 to physical challenges. That's such a garbage card. I don't know. We'll go there. Hopefully I just don't have to use this one. That's going to get an extra -1. There we go. We'll easily get 9. Sure. We'll get a +1 to a skill. Or, no. +1 to physical challenges, not +1 to a skill. Those are similar, but different. Some cards will actually give bonuses to skills. This one is just giving bonuses to the challenge. Alright. We got +2 animals. We did lose a kudo from using the Mars' Ambition card. You win it over by reading its body language and slowly building trust. It seems to want to join you, and you hope, you'll be allowed to keep it. A Vriki. You look at the species up on your holopalm, and learn that Vriki, so named for the trills they make, which yours is making now, cuddling against your leg, are neither male or female, though they do require a mate to reproduce, so it's a they then. You decide to name them Vriki, Ricky Ticky, Bright Eyes, Squidly Feederson, or something else. Bright Eyes. Why not? I'm not creative, I'm not going to type in something. I'm also not just going to call it by its species name. Bright Eyes. Their eyes are kind of bright, and there are a lot of them. It isn't long before the sirens turn off, ringing 3 short pulses as the all-clear message flashes on your holopalm. You and the other children file out of engineering, and you head back towards your quarters. Your parents will want to know that you're safe. You manage to smuggle your new pet Vriki under your jacket and hide it under your bed before they arrive. Apparently it's small enough that we can smuggle it under our jackets. That's pretty tiny. Although, I question the intelligence of throwing something that close to you that you just met during a time when the aliens were attacking our colony. But kid's 12. Not the sharpest tool in the shed, probably. Your dad gives you a big hug, but your mom slumps into a seat at your small table. It's like they were going specifically for geoponics this time, she mutters, but your dad pets your hair and shushes her. I'm sure it was just bad luck, Flulabelle, he says, but your mom shakes her head and folds her hands in front of her mouth, staring out the porthole window at the fields. And now we have made it to early quiet, and we have started year 13. We made the most friendship with Dis, because we finally started getting friendship with him. That one took a while, and Tang, and Anemone, and then a little bit with Mars and Cal. A bunch of new memories, bunch of kudos, gained more stress, rebellion stayed the same, no colony food, but we did get a bit of colony defense. And yeah, lots of skills. Ooh, and a new perk. We can upgrade our pet cards via relaxing in the park for getting animals level 1. So, nice that we just got a pet. We'll want to do that probably next time we relax, which should be soon-ish. As it is, though, I think this is a good stopping point. We will pick this up next week.